Let's just say I give my viewers the benefit of the doubt. Let's just say that my viewers that come to my channel know the truth because they've been listening to me for a long time. Let's just say you all get it. How is it possible that mass media has spun this so far and that people have allowed it to happen? Well, very easily, as I said before, that people today are now fucking impulsive and live off of emotion. So now the emotion is racism. But let's get started on something else here. What you are currently looking at on the screen is a statue. Not just a statue of anybody. His name was Albert Pike. He was a Confederate general who gladly waved that flag. Now, why am I linking Mr. Albert Pike for right now? Mr. Albert Pike wrote a letter to the Italian Prime Minister in the 1870s. And in that letter, he states in full detail how the First World War needs to be played out, the Second World War needs to be played out, and the Third World War needs to be played out to gain the upper hand on the world to create a one world government. Albert Pike today is the only Confederate general whatsoever to be buried in Washington, D.C., and he is currently buried in the Masonic Temple in Washington, D.C. So while all you simpletons out there are going off trying to ban the General Lee and trying to ban the flag and trying to get Mr. Forrest removed and reburied somewhere else, why don't you do fuck all about the most sinister, evil, diabolical Confederate fuckhead that ever existed named Albert Pike? He wrote the script to World War I 30 years before it actually happened. He wrote the script of World War II 80 years before it actually happened. When will you all understand that you are living in a script? That everything has already been written out and you're just following a script, a screenplay. And Mr. Fuckhead here, Albert Pike, this piece of shit cocksucking loser, is responsible for all the war and destruction that we have seen over the last 100 years. So why is nobody going after him, demanding that he gets pulled out of his grave and buried somewhere else? As a matter of fact, you might lift the curse on Washington, D.C. if you actually removed him from the temple. So why is nobody going after that? Because you're all a bunch of emotional simpletons out there that are running off of, oh, slavery, racism, slavery. Yet, you know what, America? You only talk about black slavery. You don't talk about the Irish that were slaves. You don't talk about the Chinese that were slaves. You don't talk about the Native Indians who were enslaved and murdered. You don't talk about any of that. You continuously talk about the black community. Well, that in itself is very racist. That is denying all other classes that have ever been subjugated before in the past, which have actually been many. The Japanese, the Chinese, the Native American, the Irish have all been enslaved in the past. Africans as well. So there's a lot more than just black people there. It's a matter of fact, it's all nations and all cultures and all colors of skin that have been enslaved in the past. So why are you simpletons just focusing on the Confederate flag and acting like emotional little wuss bags? Why? Maybe because you're a simpleton? Maybe you're just this little fuckhead that decides to live their life on emotion and without even considering what they are doing? Do you have no responsibility for your own deeds whatsoever? Are you really just going to continuously allow these people to emotionally manipulate you, gaslight you, and steer you into directions all heated that you're ready to fight and kill for something you don't even understand? So again, while you're all out there fighting little baby fights, such as removing the flag, removing the Dukes of Hazzard from TV, and all the other little horse shit that you're doing, all these little trivial, insignificant little things that you're doing to get banned, why are you not going after the main source, Mr. Albert Pike, who is buried today in Washington, D.C., in the Mason Temple today? The writer of the script of World War I, World War II, World War III, the only Confederate general to ever be buried in Washington, D.C. Yet you don't want to go after him, but you want to go after Mr. Forrester, right? You want to have him zoomed from his grave and then relocated, but you don't want to do that with Albert Pike, do you? You're simpletons. This is War Drums Fire. Have a great day, all. And to those that this does not apply, don't take it seriously when I call people simpletons. If you are not a part of that crew, then you are not a part of that crew. If you feel offended and assaulted by this, then maybe you are one of those simpletons that I am speaking of. For the rest of them, have a great day. See you all later. Bye-bye.